Well, every time you feel like Chelsea are really going to stop signing, they go ahead and really shock you. And now they've gone ahead to sign in Noni Madueke, the 20-year-old English international, has been playing for PSV. He's a winger and an attacking midfielder. They've really completed everything and is flying to London to undergo his medical. Then we are talking about Chris Wood, who has crossed side from Newcastle to Nottingham Forest. And lastly, we are talking about a man known as Yann Sommer, who has officially been unveiled as a player for Bayern Munich. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. It's like the done deal show in here for you, and I believe that we are going to be bringing you more of these transfer window stories because it looks like the transfer window is getting lit, with Arsenal getting done with Trossard. Now, Chelsea look like they want to go ahead and really get more players. Or now today, Fabrizio Romano came out and really told us the following: that Noni Madueke to Chelsea. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place with PSV on a permanent deal, around 35 million euros of package. Madueke will sign long-term deal in few days. Strongly wanted by Chelsea board. Contracts being prepared. Boarding completed to London. So, I believe one thing that Chelsea are really doing is signing players that are really in the age of 2019, 21, 22, 23, meaning that they are trying to really build a firm foundation for their team. They know that maybe in the future, they won't be able to spend what they're supposed to be spending. Reason being, they will be violating the financial fair play rule. But right now, when they're having close to 1.5 billion pounds to spend on signings, because in the contract they signed when they're taking over Chelsea, that is Todd Boehly and his consortium, they told them that they should spend 1.5 billion pounds before them really getting out a single penny, and this is going to be invested in Chelsea for the next 10 years. That was the plan, but Chelsea look like they are trying to get this money done in just 2-3 windows. That's it, because last summer they spent close to 250 million pounds, and so far they are now going to spend more 200 in the January transfer window, and they are really up and running with the Todd Boehly. And Madueke, the English international, 20 years of age, is here to see to it that he is flying to London to join a side known as Chelsea. Then Fabrizio Romano continued to let us know that understand Noni Madueke will land in London later tonight in order to undergo the medical tests as new Chelsea player. He's now flying to England. Contract will be signed on Friday as Madueke and PSV have accepted all conditions of the deal. So for PSV, this is their second player they've gone ahead to sell. The first player they sold was Cody Gakpo in this January transfer window. They sold him to Liverpool at 37 million pounds. Now, if they've sold in Madueke at 35 million euros, that means they're getting like 30 or 29 million pounds. That's not bad to go ahead and really balance your books and get in close to 70 million pounds in just the January transfer window, because they are not in the Champions League. They need to balance their books, and that's the main reason as to why they sold their main player known as Cody Gakpo. So that is for Madueke. He's really planning, not even planning, he's already on plane flying to London to see to it that he really trains with the team. He undergoes medical. After undergoing medical, he'll be unveiled as another Chelsea player. This comes after Chelsea signing Mokalo Modric, Badishil, Fofana, and Santos. So looks like they're really going in for more, and they are not yet done. Chelsea is not yet done. They are still trying to go all out and really do the needful and sign in more players. Now let's go to a little bit of Nottingham Forest, Newcastle. Chris Wood was one of the strikers that Newcastle signed from Burnley in the January transfer window of last year. That means they spent close to 1 year at Newcastle, and they've really sold him out of their club. Remember, Newcastle has strikers like Callum Wilson. The other one is Alexandra Isak. They are really doing great. And obviously, Chris Wood to Nottingham Forest. Here we go, confirmed. That is by Fabrizio Romano. Deal agreed now with Newcastle on loan deal. It will include an obligation to buy clause. So Wood will undergo medical tests and sign a contract in the next hours. Now, when you look at Nottingham, they are trying to strengthen their squad. They have just brought in Danilo from Brazil at 20 million euros. Now, they've signed they've signed Chris Wood, another striker, to come in and really help them on this job. They've really signed a season alone from January to January to what, to June, with an option to buy. So with, is it Awoyinyi leading the line? They've brought in another more tall, energetic, and obviously clinical striker. Get him on the ball. He's a good head of the ball. He has a good left foot, and he does his work very well. I believe he'll help them a lot, because Noni is not really good to come on and redo the needful. United fans don't get really shocked and be worried about him, because I don't think he's going to play in the Carabao Cup next week, because he played for Newcastle in the Carabao Cup and is not going to go ahead and really make it through. But Nottingham Forest are strengthening themselves so they don't get relegated out of the Premier League this season. But they got a very huge win against Leicester City. Remember, that is a derby. That is the Midlands derby. And when you hear Leicester and Nottingham, it's always a derby. And obviously this time around, Nottingham really won it, and they really skyrocketed from the bottom positions up to where they are right now. So that is Chris Wood joining a side called Nottingham Forest. But Newcastle is left with two, Callum Wilson and Alexandre Isak. Those are really great strikers that can really get them throughout the season. And Isak returning from injury, scoring immediately, I believe that will be a very huge boost for Newcastle. But for Newcastle, they're having a very huge injury they got of Bruno Guimaraes. I believe they need to go in the market to get a replacement. They were really looking in for Scott McTominay, and they are really ready to sell off Scott McTominay, to say to it that they spent £30 million on him to go on and really join Newcastle. And if at all they do, obviously they will find themselves into a position of really signing in a player to replace or act as a backup for Bruno Guimaraes as he really recovers from injury. So that is Newcastle for you, selling off one of their strikers they bought in the January transfer window of a side called Burnley. Now, Yann Sommer is one of those that wanted to really join Bayern Munich, and his team looked like they never wanted to release him, but finally, it is done and dusted. Yann Sommer has gone ahead to join Bayern Munich, and we've been told, official confirmed, Bayern signed Yann Sommer on a permanent deal, contract valid until 2025. It's a big club with power. We've often played against each other. I know about the enormous quality and appeal of this club. I'm proud to be part of Bayern Munich now. That is what Yann Sommer went ahead to say. And I believe he has been signed because of the injury of Manuel Neuer, and no one knows when Manuel Neuer is going to return. It might be a long season injury, and they are going to play against PSG in the Champions League round of 16, meaning that they need to raise up to the occasion, to see to it that they find themselves in a proper position of really having a very good goalkeeper to help them. Yann Sommer is 30 years of age. He is a Swiss international goalkeeper, and obviously he has been playing in Bundesliga. United were once interested in signing him, but he said, I want to go to Bayern Munich. I don't want to go to Manchester United, because he knows that maybe he can't beat David De Gea with what we call the starting position at Manchester United. So that is it. Yann Sommer is joining a side known as Bayern Munich. Then Memphis Depay has today completed his move to Atletico Madrid, and he has officially started to train with them today. He has crossed from Barcelona to Atletico Madrid and is training with them. So you never know, he might make his debut over the weekend when Atletico Madrid is playing its other game in the Spanish La Liga. So guys, your thoughts about Madueke flying to London to undergo his medical are welcome in the comment section below. What do you think about Chris Woods joining Nottingham Forest on a loan with an option to buy, because he's coming in through to see to it that he saves Nottingham from being relegated? Will he be a very good and perfect choice to save them from being relegated? All and that into the comment section below. And lastly, Memphis Depay joining Atletico Madrid, obviously, and Sommer going into Bayern Munich. Do you think he's going to out-compete Manuel Neuer? Has he made really the right choice to go that side? To me, I believe it's a wrong move in a wrong direction. That's it. So may the Almighty bless you abundantly. That was the 4th video of the day, and I think we are left with one to go to capitalize our 5 videos that we always do on a daily. Not so, may the Almighty bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later, my mates.